Good morning, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. My name is Jerry, and I have the honor of being your host today. If this is your first time, we are delighted that you have chosen to join us today. With modern technology, we are extremely grateful for this opportunity to touch so many lives, especially through Zoom and Facebook. Please feel free to visit our website, cslcharlotte.org, put in a prayer request, and subscribe. We add our recordings to our website each week. The Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte is a new thought community living in ancient wisdom, philosophy based on the science of mind. The science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a man on a mission. He studied truths from all of the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths. Holmes developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into this world. At CSL Charlotte, every philosophy is honored along with every race, sexual orientation, and physical distinctions. This is a diverse community. There are many paths to the divine. We can call it God, peace, love, or spirit. It doesn't matter what you call it. That is totally your decision. You don't have to leave your philosophy or nature of knowledge. You can join us anytime. We recognize and refer to many holy scriptures, such as the Bible, the Quran, Torah, just to name a few. Our vision statement is to continue a spiritual community, creating and preparing a succession of future leaders who can fully integrate, teach, and expose the science of mind principles, messages, and practices that strengthen the mind, body, and spirit of individuals. One of our aims is to create a high collective consciousness for everyone in this community. We teach everyone the tools to do just that. So come on and join us as we meet each Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So welcome everyone and enjoy our service, our celebration, as we celebrate this powerful being which lives in each and every one of us. So now I'll pass the mic over to our illustrious spiritual leader, Reverend Rosedale.
Thank you, Groovy. She is our powerful and wonderful MC today, and I'm loving how much to watch her with all that evolutions going on in her cells constantly. So welcome to all the YouTubers and the virtual community and anybody anywhere who catches our shorts on Facebook or wherever. Welcome, because this is the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte, the Mind, Body, Spirit Center. You need all three to really live. And today, our attention is focusing on mastering the 4 essential trusts. Now, why not educate yourself on mastering the 4 essential trusts? So the 4 essential trusts, just in short, are trusting self, trusting God in here, trusting others in here and out there, and trusting life all around us. So we start our celebrations with an opening affirmative prayer to set the tone. So leading us in this prayer is my soul sister, Dr. Wanda. Now, listen to Dr. Wanda's prayer because it's going to indicate whether she's mastering the 4 essential trusts, and you will see that. So if you want a better understanding of the mastering the 4 essential trusts, basically put in the prayer request. And once you do that, you will get one back in your email. And it will come from Maureen Thirsty Moe, who is our spiritual practitioner. But you got to go to our website to do it. So request a prayer and get started with mastering your 4 essential trusts and read it every day. But here's the thing, you got to choose to put in that prayer request. Okay, Wanda, let it rip.
Morning, everyone. I am so pleased to be here this morning and to be with you to help pray. And because I fully believe in prayer, I think prayer is the glue, it's the guide that keeps us centered. So right here, right now, I invite all of you to put aside anything that happened yesterday, clear your mind, take a deep breath, and just settle into this moment, present moment. And so as I speak these words for myself, I am speaking it for each and every person on this platform, each and every person who shows up every Sunday, each and every person that this message goes out to throughout that energetic field in the universe, knowing that we are part of a sea of potentiality and possibility. We are never alone. We are always together. We are always connected. There is no separation. And so, what I acknowledge right here and right now, that there's one power, one presence that is greater than any person, place, thing, circumstance, situation, organization, or institution. It is greater than anything. And we are part of that greatness. We are cells in the body of that greatness. And so, what I know for myself is that each and every day as I arise, I open my eyes and I'm grateful and I look at all the abundance and the beauty around me. And I know that each and every person is a beloved child of the universe, and that the universe is always conspiring in our highest good. And all we have to do is accept it, name it, claim it, accept it as our divine birthright. And so, what I know is with the Four Sacred Trust today that Reverend Rosedale is going to be speaking about, it tells us where to go for the answers. And the answers are within. The healing is within. Everything that we need is within. We came in absolutely perfect in spirit. And everything that occurs within our lives is happening as an opportunity for growth, for evolution, for a forward momentum. And we are designed to bring joy and peace and harmony and integrity and decency into the world. There is a core within us that is pure love. And love is the highest energy in the universe. It is a proven scientific fact that as we are, that energy goes out at least 6 feet from us, wherever we are. And when we touch those people, it goes out 6 feet from them and 6 feet from them. That is a quantum physics fact. And as a fact, we know that each word that we speak, each action that we take, each thought that we have has an impact on the world around us. And when we arrive at CSL Charlotte or any organization that comes together with like-minded souls in order to recharge, re-elevate, re-empower, re-encourage one another, that we are doing our part, not only to recognize the goodness, to elevate and empower others, but to also share that by being it. There was Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. And so today, Reverend Rosedale is going to show you who she is. She is what she says she is. She lives her life of mind, body, spirit on her path and shares that with us. But she doesn't just talk about it. She lives it. She walks it. She breathes it. It is part of her core. And each of us have a core purpose in life. And I know that when we join together, wherever two or more are joined together in prayer or in gathering, it is done. And the world needs us now more than ever. We must watch our actions, watch our words, watch how we treat each other, how we think of each other. And I know that right here and right now that we have that opportunity. If we set aside not just an hour, but taking this energy into our week and remembering what resonated with us during the talk, because each person will hear what they need to hear, will know what they need to know, will do what they need to do based on where they are in their own evolutionary process. And so I know that, and I give thanks for it. And I ask you to just let yourself be, open yourself to just hearing. And so it is.
Wow, and so it is. Power. There's power in your words. There's power in a woman like that who can speak about another woman like this. And I feel the same way about her. Thank you for that beautiful prayer, Dr. Wanda. Gosh, you got my cells binging all over the place. So next on our platform is our reader. And before Alan gets up and does his reading, I just want to say a couple of things. See, he's been talking about trust since the onset of this community. Now, I've known him way before it, but he's talking about the things he wanted to trust so many times. So over the past few years, though, I have seen him do some evolving here and there. Now, I think that he's probably mastering the four essential trusts. If not, he has at least started. So now you'll hear about mastering the four essential trusts. And after Alan's reading, listen to the song Hey Ling. Now you'll see in this song, I said, see, look at the video. You'll see in this song what happens when you don't think about all the things you fear, but you just be glad to be you. So, Alan, make it do exactly what it do.
Wow, thank you so much. And today's reading is an excerpt from the Four Essential Trusts and How to Master Them. Trust the process of life because it is an incredible journey of wonder, adventure, and evolution that you can experience only in direct proportion to your willingness to trust it. Jan Van Zandt. Here's where trust becomes a big word. Trust is knowing that whatever happens, you will be okay. How can you be okay? Self-trust. Self-trust is the development and mastery of an unwavering, unquestionable, inward conviction of your own value, worth, and ability to be, to create, and to enjoy all that you desire in the process of living and learning more about yourself. This requires an inner belief that you can rely on your own character, abilities, strength, and capacity to know the truth and act upon that knowledge in a self-supportive manner. What's the other word for self-trust? Confidence, believing in yourself. It means staying true to yourself and living by that truth you believe in. It's making choices and decisions and acting upon them based on what you believe is best for you. And Iyanla clarifies that it's not about being confident that you can and will have everything you want, when you want it, just like you want it. She says that the biggest lesson and challenge in mastering self-trust is giving yourself permission to make mistakes. Soul work. Because developing and mastering self-trust is soul work, its purpose is tied to a very high calling. Self-trust is an invaluable learning device as you move through the curriculum of your life to heal what you need to heal, learn what you need to learn, and grow in the direction your soul is pulling you. Everything I experienced in life was a divine setup orchestrated by my soul to grow me into the consciousness required to fulfill my purpose in life. God recognition. This process of healing, growing, learning, recognizing, and acknowledging cannot be rushed or underestimated. It is a necessary process that affords you an opportunity not just for self-recognition, but also for God recognition. In learning to trust God, you must also learn to recognize the nature of God and how God works within you, as you, and on your behalf. And so it is.
Well, we'll start with a short centering. Relax your eyes by looking into your lap or closing them if you choose. Now, breathe in really deep and really long, and when you exhale, exhale even longer. I have a question. Can you trust life without thinking about all those things you fear? Trusting life without constantly focus on fear has been so transformative for me as a practice. And mastering the four essential trusts like trusting self, trusting God, and trusting others, and trusting life is incredibly liberating and very, very enlightening for me. What about you? Well, spiritual practice plays a crucial role in this journey that we are living. Whether you call it that or not, it's a journey or a path or a distant or some type of destination after destination, which is evolution after evolution. But one thing I do know is spiritual practice provides that foundation and the tools for us to develop these trusts and move with them. So that piano, what you saw in that video coming up out of the screen, out of the piano like a big monster, don't think about all the things you fear, just be glad to be you. Well, she didn't hold back from that. She kept moving. She kept singing. So are you ready to start mastering and moving to new challenges? Well, you're at choice whether you choose to incorporate spiritual practices or not. Now, if you practice, then you're ready to start mastering the 4 essential trusts. So wiggle your fingers and your toes and integrate your mind, body, and spirit. And as you float your eyes open, once again, look around your space and find something in your space to bring you back to this present moment while I take a gratitude moment. Now, I have to thank everybody like Groovy, our MC. I love the growth experience I'm watching through her. And to you, Dr. Wanda, for serving us so powerfully. You and I we know we're continuous. We're forever students of growth and transformation, never ending. And thank you, Alan, for that reading, the 4 essential trusts and how to use them. That speaks volumes to mastering the 4 essential trusts by this book that Alana Van Sant wrote. Okay. Now, the 4 essential truths are trust self. All of this is in us. Trust God, like I said, in us. Trust others, in us. Check it out. Have you ever thought about somebody that called you 15 minutes later? They're in you. How about life? It's in there. Dr. Wanda's prayer said it plain as day. Everything is in us. Now that's incredible because I hadn't talked to her about this talk. Tell you, she's in me. I'm in her. Now, Ayana's book left a new approach for me to trust self, God, others in life itself, because the 4 essential trusts, it took me to another level. Again, that's where I'm growing. It proves to me that this whole time that I have never, ever stopped growing and will never stop. Even when life looks like I'm at a standstill, I will never stop growing. Here's another thing that people overlook. You get on these fixed incomes and you say, I live on a fixed income, so I can't. Whoa, how does that work with an economy that's evolving? Huh? There's no way I will stay on one income. No way. I will have to look and see where we're going, and I have to go and match it. You see? Okay, and another thing. Here's another thing that we have to make sure we're evolving towards. Health. Here's the thing. Science changes. They find new things, and people are still on that old back stuff, talking about, oh, this is how you get this. This is how that. No. Do your peer-reviewed research, and you can evolve with the way that health and science is going. You heard Dr. Wanda mention in her prayer, quantum. When you do that, you're doing spiritual, scientific practices for yourself. And then also through her book, I got a new set of keys. You see, it's not where I can say, oh, I got it all. No, some books make me say, pick me up, read me. Because that's something that this power within me, I have to trust myself. If she says, this girl in here says, get that. Oh, get that off of Google. Off of Amazon and read it or listen to it. I do. Because what this book did was it unlocked a whole lot more of some of that fulfilling and balanced things I feel in my existence. How awesome is that? To me, it's awesome because my body feels great. Every day I check in to see how it feels. Every day I check in to see what's my mind saying. Because not 24/7, but I remember, I get back to say, oh, what's going on in there? That's me trusting self. Because some of my questions that are already answered from in here. Now, if you say, wow, I've been having these pains in my legs forever, I need to go to the doctor. Hold it. Trust self. Maybe you get somebody to show you how to walk through this process of how can I talk to my body? How can I talk to my mind? How can I move past, let's say, dementia? Let's say whatever. Just life is not a simple walk in the park, guys, but it's a thrilling roller coaster ride. So get on there and figure it out. But trust yourself and some of the education you give yourself. Because going through peer review research, that's one of the things that will get it in here. Once it's in here, that's more information. So when you wake up one morning, you say, oh, go do that. Because you already understand that there's other things besides what you thought of yesterday. Oh, God, I think I'm going to leave that one alone. But that's trusting self. When you listen to what self has to say. Now, from the moment we're born, we all know that we're thrusted out into this beautiful, amazing world. It's so complex, but it has a bunch of experiences. But those experiences are never, ever, will never, ever be there for harm. Yeah, they're quite very uncomfortable at times. But you know what makes it more energizing is the simple fact that we can always shift. We can always change. That's what transformation is all about. Now, I'm sure that we all know without a doubt that it takes a lot of energy to live this life. Did I say that? And you know what? You got to know what kind of energy you need. You got to know what kind of food that it takes. You got to know all these things, just like tracking your food, tracking your whereabouts, tracking what you plan on doing. Because if you don't track, then you don't know what you're used to. So if somebody asks you, so what do you normally do? Oh, I don't know. That's why you need to track. That's why you track. You see, this all gets very grooved into the science of mind philosophy because this is where they start talking about the pain science of mind. And I love the way we got that idea because here's what I base the truth on. Pain isn't just a frustrating problem. It is a supercharged motivator. If you step on a thumbtack, ow, you mean to tell me you're going to keep your foot there? Or will it motivate you to move? When you keep on having a pain in your arm, will you keep saying, I'm in the bed, I got to stay here with this pain? Will you get up and try to figure out what's going on with me? Self, what's going on? Oh, maybe I need to go listen to this. Maybe I need to go find out. They got tons of remedies out here, but I'm not talking about Google. So don't get all into that. Like, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to Google this. Nope. You're going to go and learn what that means. What is peer-reviewed research? What is it? You know, there's so many things that we could look at to actually go and put a question in. But then you got to take the time. If you love you that much, you got to take the time and understand that stuff. And that's why people pay me because they don't want to take that time to understand that stuff for them. But those that are willing not to pay, okay, so they'll keep going around in their own circle. But that's okay because everybody's on their own track. But it's like our own body's pain is our own body's personal alarm. And it tells us something like, hey, I need your attention. How cool is that? it pushes us to grow, to change, to become even more aware. And it even allows us to be a whole new version of a person in the next week or so. Didn't you ever notice? Okay, the stomach was kicking you all over the place for a couple of weeks. Then all of a sudden, you went to just whole food. Nothing else, nothing processed, and all of that. And now this is me, I'm just saying my own story for a while. But see, it's temporary. A couple of months, whole foods, just whole foods, no cake, no ice cream, none of that. Then I said, okay, fantastico. Now, all of a sudden, I start feeling good. But when I start feeling good, habits change where I'm not craving that chocolate bar, but I may have some, but I have more control. See, that's where the transformation comes in. Not all pain is negative, even though many of us call it bad. It's labeled as something that's not so good, but pain does have its advantages as well as its disadvantages. One advantage is pain, like I said, it compels us to move, or if nothing else, dig deeper, go inward. That's when you begin to trust self. When you start going in to find out what it is and reflect until you can stop blaming the system, blaming the wrong things, until you can start actually trusting the thoughts that's telling you to go do. Go drink some more water. Something that simple sometimes. Or maybe you should just call so-and-so and tell them how you feel. Or no, send them a letter and don't expect an answer. But you got to get that off your chest if it's on your chest. See, that's for outside factors and distressors, if you will, stressors, right? It all boils down to doing this, taking personal responsibility for the actions that we take for the pain that we cause ourselves. We don't do it on purpose, so don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying to you, oh, it's because no, that's not what we do. Not in here. We don't blame people for their mistakes. You just have to understand whether you're taking part of your evolution is happening, baby. It's happening. Whether you decide that I'm going to pay attention to what's going on, or I'm just going to live my life and let it flow me through. That's where you caused the pain because you gave very little attention to that mind, body, spirit connection. Those three pieces are important. And when we do that reflection, we gain these awesome but yet valuable insights through our awareness. And what happens is there's an interplay between pain and vision. You know what that is? That means that when you're in pain, it causes you to figure out what it feels like when you're not in pain. There's your vision. When you start seeing yourself not in pain, now you got time. That's your personal, what did I call that word? I said your personal something. Okay, that's you deciding. Personal responsibility, it's important. You're taking personal responsibility when you start listening to yourself. Because what happens is now we're talking about some growth happening here. We're talking about resilience. We're talking about well-being. Just trust this. Pain serves as a powerful motivator. Don't forget that. And it's something that we got to do to handle our concerns. But at the same time, that vision that we have, that pain propels us. The vision pulls us as the pain pushes us. Pain pushes, vision pulls. Now we're going forward. Wow. We recognize that inside of our imagination is so powerful, but use it. Don't feel foolish. Immerse yourself into what you're seeing in your mind for the better, all the great stuff. Create it. That's trusting self. Also, the trust God part is when you're creating for yourself. And then what I loved about Alan's reading was that it says, here's the big word. Oh, trust is knowing that whatever happens, you will be okay. Knowing. And it said, how will you be okay? But you know what? Here's what I got from that. If you allow yourself to focus on the four essential trusts all at the same time, you get inspiration, you get direction, you also get a sense of purpose. If you don't have those things, it's not that easy to get beyond whatever your issues are. So, in my conversation with Alan this week, we were talking about that, and he mentioned focusing on one thing at a time. And I just, I don't push on people. I just give my opinion. And I just said, well, if you simultaneously do all of them at once, you get to shorten the time that it takes to make these transformations happen quicker. So when you do them all together, instead of saying, well, I'm just going to work on self first, trusting myself, then I'm going to work on trusting God, all of it's the same. It's like the mind, body, and the spirit, right? So anyway, he said, he came back with this fabulous but yet brilliant analogy. And he said, oh, so it's like working the gears in a manual transmission, And I said, yeah, that's a great, compelling, and great example of shifting gears in life. So now I can use that. When I'm thinking, ever since that conversation I had with him, I'll say, okay, shift. Because now you're too long in that. You're too long in that thought. This is me in the shower. You too long on that thought. It's time to shift, downshift, pick it up. And so that's just another way to lock some more keys inside of here so that I can take it in. But let's be clear. The power of transformation and the power to transform your life is in your grasp. The power is within your hands. Think about it. Your visions are not just wishful thinking, right? They're this blueprint. They're this blueprint. And that blueprint is what gives you the roadmap to your future success. Got to look at it first. Not one house was built without somebody seeing it in their mind and making a blueprint. I could guarantee you that, or we would have a half foundation. The roof would be tilted. Come on, guys. I just have to make it silly out of it because that's the only way to really get my point across and to me to take it into my own life. I am the silly person, so I make it silly. But every great achievement all started right here as a vision in the mind, and not just the head. The mind has thousands of cells. I'm not going to go into all that, but every single groups of cells are doing something different. Muscle cells are doing one thing, the heart cells are doing one thing, the eye cells are they're all doing something different, but they are helping your vision. And that's why we know that all of that is the spirit within you. Did you know? Do you really? No, you know it. But acknowledge it, that everything that beats inside of here is that power, God, spirit, the universe, what cosmos in you. But here's the thing. Successful people are visionaries. That's all. That's the difference between a successful person and a person who just says, and they were daring to with that visioning stuff. And they took action. But here's the kicker. If your dream doesn't scare you, it ain't big enough. So you need to take concrete steps to really actually turn that dream into the reality. And the last bit of research I did on that this week was these studies actually show that people who visualize their goals are significantly, not a little bit, but significantly more likely to achieve them. Way more likely. It's not magic, it's psychology. It's science. Here's the deal. Spiritual practices like guided imagery, meditation, all of those things, they're not just, they're feel-good exercises. That's not the reason why they're there. They're scientifically proven that these tools are there for our growth. They are proven for growth, resilience, and transformation. So when you are in your consistency and you're constantly envisioning your success, guess what you're doing? You're programming your mind to recognize and grasp opportunities that align you with your visions. Now, realize this. Sometimes, like I said, it can be uncomfortable, but that uncomfortable is not the pushy pain, but it's a little painful. But consider this. Would you rather stay comfortable? Just say, okay, I want to get more comfortable, but I'm staying right here. Would you rather stay in your comfort zone and not experience the biggest part of your potential? That's okay. But the choice is really yours because the benefits, oh my God, with taking steps have been amazing for me, and I'm sure it will be for you. So when you change the word sickness, for example, let's say that's a word, and you change it to something like stepping stones, realize that, oh, this is just here for me to think about this so I can grow and I can learn that don't do that or don't step on that. Resilience becomes part of it. So let's get into that untapped potential inside of us and trust ourselves and be prepared for that. Now, we're not only improving our life, we're improving the lives of others around us because when people change in relation to us. So if we're about mastering those 4 essential trusts, we can only be about that with people around us and we can only attract those. So once we attract them, we're on that road to our personal success. And that person probably looks at it and goes, you know what? I'll have what she's drinking. Or I have what she's eating. Whatever, I'm just saying. So I just challenge you today to start that and visualizing some of your outcomes today and make sure you get into the idea of trusting and embracing the fact that I just have to trust self, God, and others and trust my life. And then I begin to master my my 4 essential trusts. Now, you know that songs have lyrics, right? And you know these lyrics, what they do. But I'm gonna tell you what happens when you're trusting other people. When you put in a prayer request, you're trusting others to pray for you. When you step out on faith, I forgot to give you the life part. You are trusting life. So we talked about all 4 of those. And so remember the lyrics to this next song and discern who is the who is the you that is listening to you and who speaks within you. Discern that in this next song. So now listen to the song you say so you can start mastering the 4 essential truths. Wow. Do you? I know I was over there singing. Do you believe that you are talking to you and listening to you and the communication is between you and that God within you? Okay. Trust God, but start from beginning. Trust self, trust God, trust others, and trust life. And for me, when I sing that song, I say, I'm listening to God, to the power within me, and I'm talking back to the power within me, and then it changes back and forth. Sometimes it's the God me, and sometimes it's the self me, and it's all good, it's all me. So what do you do? What about you? What do you think? Just keep that in mind. And there it is. So anywho, thank you, Alan. That was really, really great. So yeah, pretty good. Your announcements are so succinct, and I love the short and sweetness of them now. It's really nice, and thanks Timmy P for that too. So you guys got that together. So this is the time where I talk about birthdays. I think I never will forget that because that's the day we came to be. So since that's the time we came to be, basically what we really want to do is just acknowledge ourselves on that day. So let a spiritual community acknowledge you in spirit because that's how you came here, right? So I got to do the big gratitude shout outs now. And so, right. So thank you so much, Groovy, for being our mistress of ceremony, because you are also our spiritual harmony steward. And she keeps things clean in the background and she keeps them quiet throughout all of our meetings. And I call her the cleanup woman. So anyway, thank you for being our awesome and illustrious mistress of ceremony, Groovy. And for the opening prayer, Dr. Wanda, you nailed them. You nailed the first one. Bam. I can't get you off my mind, girl. And thank you so much, because you about to do the second one too in advance. I'm thanking you. And thank you, Alan, for the reading, because it really lit up my cells to know that you found something that clashed right on into the Mastering the 4 Essential Trust. So, Timmy P, thank you for the music and being our AV and making sure we got our announcements clean, clear, and concise. And thank you, Mo, for being on that list, waiting for people to send in their emails so that they can get this prayer request. And that's so beautiful for each and every one of us. And I also thank Horace, who's he's out there right now doing some powerful stuff for himself. He is doing his own thing as far as evolution, and I'm holding the light for him so that he can make it through these classes that he's going through. And it's all fantastic for him. That's all I know. So today, before we close out, was really all about mastering the 4 essential trusts. So remember that this week. So mastering the 4 essential trusts is really, really all about aligning us perfectly with these transformations that we have each and every time. So with that knowing and understanding that you're living every day to transform something, because as you know, that's why we came into the world filled with all these wonderful things. We got to get that transformation. Every time something's not looking so hot, spiritual practices, boom, flourish. So if you want something to do this week, just work on mastering the 4 essential trusts and acknowledge your ability to trust. So from what you heard, trust is very easy and you can really accomplish it. So before Dr. Wanda prays us out, I want you to think about talking to your soul now with this next song. And when you talk to your soul, again, this song is affirming what you believe. So when you can keep on believing that, and I remember this thing when I was a kid, I think I can, I think I can. Well, that's a nice affirmation, but I didn't know it was that until, I started really thinking about I believe. So listen to this next song. We begin mastering those 4 essential trusts with Yolanda Adams, Believe. Did you hear her say, oh, get into the words, let that mind go? Come on. She said, let it go, guys, but just listen to what you're saying and listen and watch the pictures in your mind. Hear that song again, guys. You'll get it. I love it. I believe I can. And I know why I'm saying it, because she told us why. She told us that the songs, the things are in your head. You look at those pictures in your mind. Keep creating pictures in your mind. Okay, guys, that's a good thing. So I was dancing. So what I want to do is to call Dr. Wanda up. So Dr. Wanda, could you please unmute and pray us out?
Okay, I'm back. She's back. So what I'd like to do right now is to start this prayer with gratitude, knowing that something miraculous has happened this morning yet again. I know that this is not the end of the service, but the beginning of taking these messages and the revolution that each and every person experienced personally into action this week. And as we step into action, we are often hit by such a cacophony of sound of people saying what we should do, what we need to do, what we could do. But the reality is we don't need to do anything. I believe in a universe that is always conspiring in my highest good. And what looks like maybe not as good as I would like it is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to step beyond that, to move above that. And this morning, I feel the elevation and the quickening of my cells from just being here, just being here. I had to do nothing but sit here and take in the beauty of the words that Reverend Rosedale spoke this morning, the beauty of each and every individual that participated in this service, that wonderful vibrational level that's been elevated. And I know that I can take that into the world, and I can infect the world with the virus I caught here this morning, the virus of happy, the virus of it's all good. And what I know is that there is only good. There is only good. I know that I don't have to worry about whether someone is my friend or my enemy. I have no friends. I have no enemies. I simply have teachers and students. I simply know that each and every individual crosses my path in order to allow me to see myself in action through as and in them, because I can only recognize things in others that are within me. And I know that there is no separation. Because there is no separation, I am blessed by being part of this group this morning. And I give great thanks for the opportunity to be of service. And with that, I simply say, I accept, I name and claim prosperity, joy, and happiness for each and every person that's come here today. And so it is.
My God. And so it is. And I think I will catch that virus right with you, baby. Virus of happiness, Dr. Wanda. You, oh girl, you light me up every time you come in here and do your in and outs. Oh girl. Oh yes. Yes, yes, yes. So anyway, I think I did everything. And I just want to say one more time, thank you, Dr. Wanda. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So in the clothing or closing? In our closing remarks,
Clothing, clothing.
closing, baby. So as we close today, and wrap up our time together today, remember, take heart in self. Trust self and start mastering the four essential trusts all at one time. See, remember that it is a good thing to practice in spiritual practices constantly so you can start to understand and evolve into these things and make it easier for yourself. Remember, the universe is constantly supporting you on this journey. So when we meet again, you will have another step further into your mastering of your voice at your trust. So with that being said, guys, have a great day and the rest of your week. And like Wanda said, take that stuff with you this week. And so it is. Amen.